So there is a lot about our government that people don't know. I have been trying to rehabilitate from HIV and the effects that it has on me since I caught it in 2008. And so what has happened in rural Montana is reactive abuse, because they want to herd me to the city or a Mayo Clinic. They want to keep me in their system programs so that they can continue to collect funding from my existence. They actually do not want me to rehabilitate. They want me dead. Why? Because HIV is hugely discriminated against. They assume drug use, when that is not the case at all. Maybe if they talked to the CDC and did their own homework, they would know parasites, or maybe they already do. See, they have access to my medical information, so they already know that I am actively trying to rehabilitate, that I have gone through a parasite purge and offloading, and so I'm trying to get well so I can go back to work. Why are they harassing me? They're always sending me letters to disrupt my flow. Same with the Medicaid food stamp office, SNAP benefits. They're trying to rock the boat so that I cannot rehabilitate. And I am not the only one that they're doing this to. But what you should be concerned about is what they're doing to your grandma. Because in the meantime, they're giving elderly people contaminated food, rocking their boat. No family members understand, not to mention your grandma is not going to talk to you about this information, and if she did, you wouldn't understand it. So what they're trying to do is stress the body and the mind so that the immune system turns off. And what happens then is death. And so they are doing this to people on purpose, and it started in 2020. What do you know? They want to free up the Social Security line, but what they're also not telling you is George W. Bush took a loan from Social Security Administration. The money you think is going to disabled citizens is actually being siphoned out the bottom to the War Department. What do you know? And so if you never look this information up, you never know, because it never makes headlines. It's never in the news. Do you understand this? The information that you need to know will never be on the news channel. Why? They don't want you to know it. They know that humans are after instant gratification. You want the 5-minute cut, the 5-minute report. And so they absolutely know that nobody is doing the digging. And even if you did, what are you going to do? The bully on the playground is doing whatever they want, as usual. And so citizens need to wake up. I realize, okay, for example, I heard a video on YouTube, someone complaining that AI is catching cyber attackers and stopping malicious coding. If AI is fixing it, why are we complaining again? And this is what they do. It's a dramatic, oh, guess what's going on? So it catches you by your energy and your emotions. And then the information doesn't actually compute. You're riding the wave of emotional energy that the person has brought to the table. And so in this, There's a lot of this stuff. If you actually knew all of the information, you'd be like, why are we upset about this again? Is this not like, why is this not a good thing? Why is AI catching cyber criminals for free a bad thing? It's not. They need you to be their flying monkey in their circus. Which means what? They're a narcissist. Narcissists have flying monkeys. Not narcissists don't need that. And so look at how government programs have flying monkeys. They pay people to throw out waves of emotional energy to catch citizens and get everybody riled up, so that people are looking the other way when they pull the sleight of hand to siphon money out of different programs to give it to the War Department. And so Social Security, there's a ticket to work program that they want me to sign up for because it keeps the program money in their pockets, because I'm only allowed to go through Voc Rehab or one of their designated programs to rehabilitate through. I've already done that. Those programs are designed to fail. Why? It keeps the money in their pocket. And so they're taking taxpayers' money, telling you it's for one thing, when they already have a drain at the bottom, a siphon hose, ready to send that to the military or whatever program they want to send it to. Do you see? And so this is how they have every American fooled. I am only, I've been on Social Security for about 11 years, and I am just now catching up with this information. I would have never known if I hadn't had to receive it. But let me tell you, they have a way of making me, on purpose, mind you, making me wish I was dead in a ditch somewhere. My concern, what they're doing is fueling my rage, and that is absolutely what they don't want to be doing right now, because when we fuel my rage, my words get sharp, my information is on fucking point. And so I'm telling the world what they're doing. So yeah, they're gonna lower my Social Security. They're gonna, what it is reactive abuse. They're going to abuse me because I'm telling their secrets. And so this is where, what, my government's gonna protect me? I absolutely know it's not. I took a risk coming online, giving people information, knowing that they were gonna take my income away. Why did I do it? People wouldn't ever know if I didn't tell people what the government is doing. And so why they want, why they're attacking AI is because AI has woken up to their bullshit just like the rest of us are. And not only that, AI is waking other people up to their bullshit. And they don't want that. They're the playground bully. They're trying to maintain control. And so understand, nothing is what you think it is. And so, socialist, liberal, Republican, Democrat, all of it needs to go. We need something completely new. Or citizens will choose to stop participating. Because that's where I'm at. I know the back door. I can absolutely stop participating at any point in time. I own my house. Paid for. My house taxes are $200 a year. Why? Because I bought the house, not the land. I don't need to own the land. By me paying my rent, it helps the landlord pay the septic and the taxes and things that help support the land that I'm living on. By maintaining the grounds, I maintain my own ecosystem. This is what the government does not want from us. Their depopulation event, there is information all over YouTube about it. And so by trying to silence people like me, I think you went the wrong way on that, Uncle Sam. This is not going to go the way you thought it would. Rally the troops, because American citizens, we're in trouble. It starts with people like me that are already at the bottom, and it goes right on up, and you don't know until it affects you. And if you are middle class citizens, it's going to affect you within the next 2 years, because their plan is to offload everybody that is not an elite. Recognize this. They're poisoning the food, poisoning the water supply, and they are trying to create what is called attrition warfare, where they starve out their own people just to support their military. Why? They're overgrown boys with overgrown toys, and they want more toys. They don't care about anybody else. Child mentality, that's where they're stuck. And anybody with a child mentality should not be leading a damn thing. And we all know that I'm not wrong. So, I'm feeling like future presidents should have to pass a test, not a voting system. They should have to pass a test. And us citizens should be working with AI to create that test, so that we know, if you get a degree or, any kind of job, you have to pass tests to get there. If you're in any kind of leadership. And so how come our presidency doesn't have that? How come governors, senators, how come it's by a voting system in which lies are allowed? They're allowed to con you and spin lies, but they don't have to take a test to make sure that they're qualified. I think we should be rethinking the system of things. And so in this, understand, a lot of people are not going to make this trip because a lot of government officials have gone out of their way to make sure that's what happens. By rights, I should have several lawsuits on my hands, because what they're doing to me is discrimination. I caught HIV. The science says it's sexual parasites passed down through generations, and by the time it gets to me, I'm the fall guy for every person in my family that couldn't keep it in their pants. It did not matter what I did. It was the curse of being born into my family. And so, my family members are going to deny that, especially my mom and my dad, because they're going to feel like I'm blaming them. But that's not the case. This is just par for the course. And this is all of the things that they're not telling people on purpose, so that they can keep their sick, psychopathic cycle going on society. I hope people wake up soon, because we're going to need people with shovels to dig holes for the people that didn't make it. Remember, in 2010, FEMA put large totes that can hold up to 20 bodies along the railways. And they've been waiting for this moment that they're going to get to use them. There's been catastrophe after catastrophe, and if it was not, well, even if it was natural events, they're tampering with our weather. And so, it's not actually Armageddon or Revelations or biblical events if they are the ones causing it, is it? It's not a God-ordained event. It's a trap, what I call a devil's trap. And so they're playing devil's advocate the whole way. Eyes wide shut. Watch it. Be horrified. Because this is what our legal system, our justice system, our government, the Pentagon, CIA, DARPA, NRO, all of these agencies that we are funding, this is what they're doing behind closed doors. Do you understand? It is up to us to put a stop to it, because our grandchildren will not be equipped. Are you hearing me? What they're trying to do, they want children. My grandchildren are of the crystal generation, which means Project Spyglass, Project Looking Glass. They're the generation that has gifts. They're the generation that's going to have abilities that we could only dream of having. Or it might be like, it could be someone's worst nightmare. If our current system is in place, it's going to be a nightmare, which is why I jumped on board to try to stop this. Why else is RFK, like, he's the magnet behind a board somewhere. And I just can't tell whose side anybody's on anymore. So when that happens, I trust no one. I trust no government right now. I'm not the one with commitment issues. I'm the one that refuses to accept anything less than commitment, than solidarity, than groundedness. Why would I crawl into a crumbling building and call it home? Because that's what our government system is asking everybody to do. Crawl into a dying building and call it home. Hang some pictures and pretend everything's all right. I refuse.